Yo, what it do, y'all? We back, man. Listen,
Back.
we back, man. Tennessee faces off against Vandy. Oh man, I've already flushed that South Carolina L. I'm looking forward to this one, bro. I'm looking
I am
forward
too.
to this one. A lot of things that we'll run by today, man. You know, it's the Who is Vandy. Sorry again, man, for us being late on the video this week. A lot of things going on. Your boy was without internet for about 2 days. So we back though. It's time to get it turned. You already know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. Who is Vanderbilt? Let's go.
The Northander sets the race onto the field. The finals will be boring the giant team that stretches from that north end ground on a cold day becoming Glendale as the big orange sets the race on the Shield Buckets Field, ladies and gentlemen, and wherever you are.
Yo, what it do, everybody, and welcome to Straight Up Tennessee. You know, it's your boy Ruck. My brother Turner is with me today, and y'all, it's all about Vanderbilt, man. But really, let me take it a step further. It's all about Tennessee this week. How does Tennessee take what happened last Saturday, not apply the lessons that they learned, but how do they deal with what happened? We don't know what team we're going to see. I think this is the first time all year we feel like we don't know what team we're going to see on Saturday. But I feel deep inside of me, man, like they are not going to let what happened last week repeat itself, or they're not even going to let Vanderbilt get it within sniffing distance, man.
Yeah, I agree. I really do agree. I think that this team's hungry. You know, honestly, after just being honest, getting embarrassed last week. I mean, that's what it was. Just getting embarrassed, getting dog stomped, get the crap beat out of you. I mean, I'm just going to say it how it is. Yeah. But we've seen this team after a loss, and I think it's going to be the same thing. We've seen how Tennessee came out after that Georgia loss. We've seen that. And I think it's going to be very similar. I really do. I think we're going to suck the life out of them. I mean,
early.
I do. I mean, I think there's a bunch of what ifs in this Tennessee game from our side of the ball. I mean, of course, Hendon Hooker towards ACL, done for the season. Joe Militia coming in the game. You feel me? Getting the start.
Militia. You know. Hey, y'all, listen. I'm going to let Turner keep talking, but listen, I failed us. I have failed us the past few weeks, okay? I'm putting back on the starter jacket, okay? Listen, I'm putting it on. I'm not failing us no more, okay? I'm putting it on, and I'm rocking it every episode this week. You heard me.
Got to.
But
I think I think there's a bunch of what ifs, you know. Joe Milton, the quarterback, first true start in a year. B Turnage, he's probably done, or he ain't gonna be back this game. They hadn't said much about Danico Slaughter. They really ain't said much about Ruben Coy. I did find this interesting, and this really just goes to show what type of guy Ramel Keaton is. On the VolQuest 2-minute drill. I don't know if you heard this today, but they said Ramel Keaton was the last one to leave the practice facility, stayed 30 minutes after practice, just catching balls off the jugs machine.
I heard that, boy. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to see a lot of things this week. One thing I want people to understand and recognize is that Joe Milton has Joe Milton has been in practice over the last year, acting as if he's quarterback number one. He's in the huddles. He's listening to language. He's in game plans because you are literally one sprained ankle, one helmet getting knocked off from having to step in. And I'm not worried, and we'll talk all about this. But I am not as worried as some of our Tennessee family are. Joe Milton, it's almost like what kind of story is he going to have coming in for his brother, not only winning this game Saturday, but winning a bowl game and heading into 2023 as like the guy. Like, what kind of story could he have? Because the way, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but the way that this offense is built, I feel like it does. If the quarterback is efficient enough, they can win the Heisman. I'm not kidding.
Facts.
Because the numbers that they put up are there. Like, you're going to put up numbers. It's just, how efficient can you be?
Yeah, and I think that's very accurate. And I think scheme has a lot to go with that. I mean, if you're a quarterback recruit, why would you not want to come to Tennessee? I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, you're gonna get numbers. It's just plain and simple. You're gonna get every opportunity to throw the football, get your numbers in the run game, pass game, whatever. I mean, sky's the limit at Tennessee for a quarterback. And also, not just that, but if you are a good quarterback at the University of Tennessee, Tennessee fans, as a Tennessee fan, if Hendon Hooker might have a stadium outside of Neyland Stadium. But no,
you mean
you know what I mean?
You really mean a stadium or a statue?
Statue, that's what I meant.
Okay,
but when Tennessee has a good quarterback, Tennessee fans are just on a different level.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It's true. It's true, bro. And not only are the fans just locked in, it just, what they do is they rally around that guy, you know?
That's a good way to put it. That's what I was trying to say without, I couldn't get the words out of my mouth.
Yeah. We rally around that guy because we've seen what he does. And I mean, the thing about it is, I'm not worried about Joe Milton throwing interceptions at all. I mean, from the body of work I've seen Joe play since he's been at Tennessee, he protects the football as well. He's going to be a little bit more risky simply because he feels as if he can fit those balls into different areas, you know, like, because he does have that zip. He does have that precision type accuracy type thing. But we'll get all into how we're feeling about what's going on in the university, man. It's all about Vandy for the next few seconds. You heard what I said, seconds, because y'all, we got a lot to talk about, man. Josh Heupel met with the media, the drama in the locker room. Like, I don't believe any of that. But anyways, the number. Let's talk about this real quick before we really jump into all things Vanderbilt. College football playoff came out last night, and Tennessee falls to 10. Man, how you feel about that far of a drop?
I mean, I seen it coming. I really did, just because South Carolina is not a good football team. I seen it coming. I think it's just so frustrating. And we literally just talked about this. I think the frustrating thing to me about being number 10 is knowing that we have absolutely demolished number 5 at their place on the road and also beat number 7. It's just a hard pill to swallow, you know. I mean, Josh Heupel said it at the very beginning of November when we were number 1. He said, listen, he said, we might be number 1 right now, but in college football, November's what matters. Yeah. You know, and this November's been honestly crazy. I mean, yeah, we said it after the Bama, or we said it after the Georgia loss, or it might have been the Bama win. I don't know. We said the literal floor for this team at that point in the season was 10-2.
Yeah. Yep. And that's where we're sitting, man. That's where we're sitting. We're sitting at 9-2, man. We have to win this game Saturday. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I'm not sitting here worried about the game. Like, not at all. I understand that this Vanderbilt team has won 2 straight SEC games. They beat 2 teams that are just not very good. Like, let's be real, okay? Kentucky's not good. Florida is not the same Florida. We've got an opportunity, man. And it's not like they beat Florida in the swamp. They beat Florida at noon in Nashville, Tennessee. You know, like there's a lot of variables that play in it, but I'm not going to take anything away from Vanderbilt because they are playing the best football I've seen them play in years.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
but man, let's talk about this really quickly. You know, normally we would talk offense, defense, players to watch. Man, I'm just going to loop all of this into one thing, man. When you look at Vanderbilt this year, they started a quarterback by the name of AJ Swan. Mike Wright started the first couple games. I'm not sure if Mike Wright got hurt or if he just wasn't producing the way Clark Lee wanted him to. But they ended up playing a young kid in AJ Swan. He comes in and he gives them a little spark, but he just doesn't get it done. I think he does get injured. And Mike Wright steps back in, and now Mike Wright in these last 2 games is kind of just playing out of his mind. He's a running quarterback. That has not given us fits all year other than Brady Cook at Missouri. I really do believe having Jeremy Banks back in the middle is going to help a lot Saturday. Whatever you guys thinking about Banks, where you're like, oh, man, he don't need to play, yada, yada, yada. Listen, y'all. That's all garbage. Like, let's squash that noise. All of those things that you are hearing, everyone is assuming. We don't know what happened, and we're never going to know. Unless you know somebody within the university, you know Danny White, you know Josh Heupel personally, you ain't never going to know. So stop speculating. Like we don't have to sit here and worry at night because we think that the locker room's divided. That locker room is not divided. Them boys are a team. The one thing that they have fought for since Josh Heupel got into the University of Tennessee is unity and family and community. Those are the 3 things that they have begged for. So you think they're going to let whatever happened split this locker room? You're kidding me, man.
And if something did happen, it's something slight. I mean, you heard them in the press conferences from yesterday and the day before. I mean, they asked 6 players. Of course, you know the media is going to ask them about, is there a divide in the locker room? Not a single one hesitated. They were like, no, there's not a divide in the locker room. We're a team. No. We play as one.
If anything, they made the decision to leave Jay Banks.
Yeah, facts.
So,
I mean, I think Eric Kane said it well in Locked On Vols, man. I think Jeremy Banks just had a bad week.
Yeah, he did, man. And that's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
And I just don't want people to think that Jeremy Banks is in the wrong, like he's done something terrible. Man, Jeremy Banks honestly has another redemption story. The way he's played this year, the way he's not acted out on the field like normal. If anybody is acting crazy, it's Kamal Hadden. But
he needs to check himself. Is what he needs to do.
Man, that brother. Anyways, let's talk about Vandy real quick. I'm going back. Mike Wright is now starting over these last couple games. Man, he's playing out of his mind. He's running the football. He's even completing the ball. You know, Vanderbilt. It's interesting to talk about this Vanderbilt team because defensively they have a lot of experience, but they're still not like dominant. You know what I mean? Like they're not just like this immovable force. You know, when you look at this Vanderbilt team, you've got a great running back. They do have a really, really good running back in Ray Davis. He's a senior. He's been there for a while. He has 982 rushing yards, 5 scores. He's averaging about 4 yards a carry. Their best receiver, man, I feel like this dude has been there for years, but it's only been 3 years. It's Will Shepherd. He's got 728 yards and 9 touchdowns this year. He is their guy. Like when you talk about Vanderbilt, he is their guy. Vanderbilt has averaged, Turner. Now, we said this last week against South Carolina, but we need to be reminded. They have only averaged 28.6 points a game. They allow 34.2.
Yeah.
You think that we're not going to score, you're losing your mind, okay? Can the defense – I said this earlier in the year, and I hate that I'm saying this again. Can the defense be 5% better than they were last week?
That's
all we need. That's all we need, 5%. Get 2 stops, 3 stops. That changes stuff, man. The way – I'm sorry, I got to say this right now while it's fresh on my mind. That was pitiful last week. I'm not going to sit here and act like it wasn't. That defense played terrible. And I'm going to tell y'all something right now. It ain't Tim Banks' fault. Okay. Yes. Did Tim Banks call some weak, soft zone coverages? Yes. Yes, they did. But our guys need to learn how to play the zone. Like, if you're going to play 8 yards off the ball, you might be playing cover 2. But if you're playing cover 2, why is somebody not in the flat? Like, how are you getting beat in the flat? Okay. Another thing, Rodney Garner, y'all can't blame Coach G for lack of effort. I'm watching the defensive line back on the condensed game on Monday. I'm watching the condensed game, and I'm seeing zero effort. And then on Tuesday, I listened to press conferences, and Byron Young, Amari Thomas says this on Monday. They just said they wasn't locked in. And I'm like,
yeah.
What? Why? What happened? What happened for you to look at this game like, it's a cakewalk, and you let this team who ain't better than you, not close to being better than you, beat the absolute piss out of you?
I think this is the one. I think
smacked your ass. What?
I think this is the first game that Tennessee is actually overlooked.
Yeah,
in my opinion. I mean, you said it. I mean, BY and them, they said it in their conference. They were like, man, we just felt like we were never locked in. And I don't know, man. The big question I have is everybody hating on Jeremy Banks, saying, he's causing all this stuff in the locker room divide. Well, the big question I have is we're going to see how much of a role Jeremy Banks has on our defense Saturday.
Yeah, we're gonna
not just in the aspect of playing, but in the aspect of being a vocal leader for the defense.
Yep.
Because there was no leader on that defense, and I don't know what's happened to Jalen McCullough, but you've gotten slower. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know what has happened, but getting torched, freaking torched,
left and right, man.
And I don't know why. Like, what's up with our corners playing? I mean, like you said, if we are playing cover 2, why is nobody in the flat? We're playing 15 yards off the ball, and we're letting them catch it at 7 in the flats. And instead of coming up and making a play, what do? We sit there at the first down and just let them hit us. Hey, run to me. I mean, I get it. You got to break down and make a tackle, but don't just sit there and let him run right into you.
Exactly. That's the issue for me. It's just like, it makes zero sense. So, again, Vanderbilt is playing for something. Tennessee is playing for something.
Facts.
We're currently sitting here playing for a New Year's Six bowl, and Vanderbilt is playing to get a bowl. So it's Vanderbilt senior day. There's a lot of things on the line in this game, and it's a rivalry. I mean, dude, it's gonna be lit. I'm not capping. And I really just believe that if Tennessee does what Tennessee is supposed to do, they lock in as a unit, offense, defense, special teams. Not offense playing good, not defense playing good, not special teams playing good. All 3 units locked in, playing the best football we possibly can. Vanderbilt can't stand a chance, bro. I'm talking about we win by 3-4 touchdowns, period.
I agree. I don't think it needs to be close. I mean, it shouldn't be close.
No, not at all.
I think you see Vanderbilt come out and try to run the quarterback. I really do, especially after watching South Carolina with their Wildcat formation. I mean, why would you not try to run Mike Wright? I mean, he's the second leading rusher on the team anyway.
Wow. Kirk Herbstreit confidently stated that Vanderbilt will beat Tennessee this weekend.
I can't stand Kirk Herbstreit anyway. He didn't like us from day one. He never picked us until the Georgia game. When he's like, oh, they beat Alabama. I guess I'll pick them over Georgia. And now it's like, oh, Tennessee's just trash. Man, get out of here. I can't stand lukewarm people like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm talking about our fans, too. You sit here saying Tennessee sucks, like our season's over. You crazy. Just stop. Just stop. Y'all are the same people that said after we beat Bama, oh, this is the best Tennessee football team we've had since '98.
Yeah, but then you hear this, man. You hear a guy in Greg McElroy who has every right to hate Tennessee, being an Alabama graduate. He says Tennessee has earned the right in making a more high prioritized bowl than Alabama and LSU.
It's facts, though, man. I mean, I see
is, man. So
Alabama is there because of their name. That is 100% why they are at number 7, is because they are called the Alabama Crimson Tide.
You are not lying, buddy. You're not lying. Y'all, man, this is a great time to just let you guys in on the, you know how we do, man. Like, comment, subscribe, click the bell notifications if you're on YouTube watching. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, wherever you listen to your podcast, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for the love and support of Straight Up Tennessee, man. We're going to keep grinding, man. The basketball team actually has a game tonight in the Bahamas. Big game, man, against Butler. Butler always has a really good team, man. And even if they're not ranked, even if, you know, whatever, man, they always are feisty and have a great team. So I'm excited to see what that pans out to be. Kansas is in this tournament. USC is in this tournament. There's some dogs in this tournament, bro. So yeah, it's going to be pretty cool to see how that happens. But y'all, man, we want to remind you right now, click the link right here, man. Type this in, www.companycasuals.com/straightuptn, man. Our merch store is live. All things from hats, hoodies, crew necks, it's all live there, man. Me and Turner be rocking it, man. We put a reel out on our Instagram. You can actually go and see some of our pieces on there. We already working on version 2, man. It's gonna be crazy, but yeah, go ahead and support us, man. If you love what we're doing here, rock some Straight Up Tennessee merch. Send us pictures. Let us know that you rocking it and that you purchased it, man. But we couldn't do any of what we're doing as far as the merch side of Straight Up Tennessee without our friends over at Tennessee Sporting Goods, man. Tennessee Sporting Goods has served the Knoxville community for over 60 years, man. They have been in Knoxville since 1951. Anything from Letterman jackets to sports uniforms to equipment and apparel, Tennessee Sporting Goods is your place. They're located in the heart of Fountain City in Knoxville, Tennessee. Go check out their store at 4817 North Broadway. Give them a call. You know, if you're inquiring anything about a massive order for uniforms, jerseys, hats, whatever, give them a call at 865-688-5454, and they will take care of you in the best way. They're taking care of us. We love what they're doing. And man, if y'all haven't seen the merch, if you haven't purchased it, it is gas. So we thank you guys over at Tennessee Sporting Goods for all you do to support the Straight Up Tennessee podcast. And yeah, man, so Turn, this game is huge because it's the next one. There's a lot of things at stake, like we just mentioned earlier. And Vanderbilt's playing the best ball that they've played in a long time.
Yeah. I still don't think
I don't care.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't care, bro. I don't care. Let's talk about just the obvious, man. Hendon Hooker goes down, and now Joe Millie steps in. Joe Militia Milton. How you feeling? How you feeling about that transition to what we know, man? We know that Joe can play. We know that he can throw the football 230,000 yards. But how do you feel about him? First quarter, 15 minutes on the clock. He's your, like, there's nobody else, bro. Like, he is your guy, you know?
I don't think, and we haven't even talked, I haven't even told you this. This is just my personal thought. I think at first you might see just a slight drop off, not much at all. Because I mean, you listen to Jabari in his press conference, and he's like, man, like, we're all comfortable with Joe. Like, Joe is the first team quarterback without being the first team quarterback, if that makes any sense. Like, he says, when they're practicing, they're in the huddle, first team's in the huddle, Joe's right there, right behind Hendon Hooker, listening to the play every time.
Yeah. You
know, and I thought this was, I don't know, this just stuck out to me. And maybe I just took something out of this, but Heupel said on Milton, I think he's a lot more comfortable in what we're doing in the run game and in his decision making process, all of it. He's a lot further ahead than what we saw from him at the beginning of last season. And something that stuck out to me, and I really think that Joe Milton is going to be more. I think Hendon Hooker's running ability is better than Joe Milton, but I think Tennessee is going to use Joe Milton more in the run game than they did Hendon Hooker. Because I don't know why that stuck out to me, but the first thing he said was, I think he's more comfortable in what we're doing than last year in the run game and in his decision making. The fact that he said in the run game, I think we're going to run Joe Milton, because every time Joe Milton has ran the football this year, even in mop-up duty, it's a completely different Joe Milton than last year.
Oh yeah, he coming at your neck.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the big things. Just where Hendon wasn't the biggest, and Hendon could run, but Hendon was like a daggum gazelle.
Yeah,
I mean, when he tried to cut, man, golly.
You just hoping somebody ain't taking out his legs.
And he can't slide.
No,
I mean, there's no slide. I mean, it's just a fall.
That is
what it is.
That is one thing that is so interesting about watching Joe Milton run the football. Have you noticed that his center of gravity, he's so low to the ground?
Yeah.
Like at the point of contact, he's as low as whoever's trying to hit him.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I really do. I really think Joe Milton. I think we're gonna, and we kind of talked about it, man. I really don't know why this is kind of going back in the season a couple games, but I don't know why we got away from the quarterback design runs with Hendon. I mean, I don't know, unless something happened, and I'm just totally speculating right here. Hendon's been suffering with something all season, not really like bad, but maybe they're just trying to protect him. Like maybe he tweaked his knee earlier in the season or tweaked an ankle or something. But I don't know, man. And correct me if you don't agree, but I feel like ever since we got away from the QB run, I don't know. I think our offense has just changed a little bit. And I say that as in just a little bit. Like,
yeah.
Like we used to have designed QB runs for Hendon Hooker.
Yeah.
And we used to do them all the time. And I don't know why we've got away with that. Like I loved the roll Hendon Hooker out to the right. And everybody drop steps to the right and blocks, and you got just dragging across field.
Don't you wonder if that was don't you wonder if that was just him trying to understand what was going on last year? I mean, I hadn't seen him. He didn't roll once this year.
No.
He stood in the pocket. I wonder if that was just what they had to do to make him feel some type of way early last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, we said it. I mean, that would make sense because we said it. What have I said since day one? For Hendon to get going, he's got to have a good run.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I'm going to pose this, man. We talked about this a little earlier. Just like Austin just said, just like Turn said, if you've noticed the way Hendon Hooker plays, when he has that first run, and not a big run when he gets out of bounds, but I'm talking about when he has that first run, he makes a move, but like somebody falls on him or he gets hit and he gets to get up, pop up and talk some of that talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he's locked. Now it's like, okay, we going deep. Like, I just know that. I'll pose to Turner, and I would love to see what y'all say. Everybody that watches and listens, comment what you think about this. I think that Joe Milton's thing is that first big boy, long, deep ball connection. Like, if Joe could complete his first bomb, I feel like he is locked, because that has been his kind of kryptonite. It's like he's really good at it, but he's also struggled at just making those connections with those guys. But, listening to him speak, I went back and watched his preseason media day video yesterday. And one thing he said that really stood out to me, and you've seen it, he said, me coming in last year and starting, I didn't really know my guys. He said, I knew them, but I didn't really know them. He said, now I know my guys. And after a year like he's had in mop-up duty, after a year that he's had just learning, developing, growing, stretching, I'm hoping that this guy comes in, bro, and he just eats. Like, man, Joe Milton throw for 400 Saturday. People going to be like, here's what'll happen. This is what's annoying about Tennessee and about the media. Joe Milton comes in, throws for 350, 400 yards on Saturday. They're going to be like, Joe Milton should have been the starter all year. You know what I'm saying? I'll be sitting there like, what you be hating? You the same person that on Monday was like, oh my God, big strong arm Joe coming in. Oh gosh. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, y'all.
And at the same time, we can't be sitting here like, if Joe Milton does come and let's say he has a 250 piece and he's like, let's just say he's 20 for 40, 50%. It's his first game as a starter in a year.
Oh, yeah.
You can't, I mean, I hope he does. I really hope he comes and balls out. I think he can. But at the same time, on the other side of it, we can't be sitting here like, God, I can't wait for Nico to get here. If he don't have
so stupid.
If he don't have a Heisman type game. I mean, it's Joe Milton's job. I don't care. I don't care if he plays like absolute dog piss against Vandy and in the bowl game. It's Joe's job next year to lose. 100,000%.
For sure. Yeah, I'm excited to see Joe. Got my tickets. I'm locked in. I'm going to Neyland West to turn up with my boys for one last season. I had them for one last game. I had to make up for it because I didn't go to the Missouri game, the last home game. So I was like, I got to go to the last regular season game, period.
Well, I mean, you right down the road.
Right down the street. Right down the street.
Yeah.
I got to go. Turn, man. We trying to turn the corner on this one, y'all, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Click that bell notification. Download these podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Anchor listeners. You know how we do this, man. 2 questions, bro. Starting off with the first one. Who has to be a playmaker, offense and defense, for Tennessee to come out and beat Vandy?
We should both have the same answer.
On offense, we definitely do.
It is 100% Joe Milton on offense.
It is Joe Milton or die. I ain't got to explain why. We just talked about it for like 5 minutes. About it.
Defense for me, if he plays, Jeremy Banks.
It ain't if, bro. He's playing.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy Banks, in my opinion. Because I try to go and say, I've said McCullough a lot this year. I've said Turnage a lot this year. And I'm over getting disappointed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Jeremy Banks.
Yeah. Offensively, man, Joe Millie, period. Point blank, period. Defensively, God almighty, dude. Just the DBs, man. They gotta do something for me this week. A pick or two. I don't know. It gotta just be consistent. I would love to see them play just out of their mind this week defensively.
I would just like to see us play confident, honestly, in the secondary. It's not just confident. I mean, my gosh. I mean, I know it's really not our defense, but like, I would love to see us just come out and press man a couple times. You get beat. So what?
Yeah.
But just, I don't know.
Aren't you interested though to see what happens in the secondary this week? Like, are you gonna start a Christian Charles, who just looks like he doesn't even understand how to play corner in the SEC?
What was it you told me? You told me this. I'm stealing it from you. I said something like, I said it to you the other day. It was yesterday. I was like, man, you know who didn't participate in senior day activities and didn't run through the tee? And I said Warren Burrell. And you were like, man, we were hating on Warren Burrell, but sitting here right now, man, we miss Warren Burrell.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, man. It's a leadership thing, bro. It's like he was not giving up anything crazy. Like, if you think about it, he was giving up. If he was playing 9 yards off the ball, at least he was coming up and making tackles 5 yards. He giving them 5 yards, but he making the tackle. He ain't giving them 12.
Yeah, and waiting on him to come to him.
Give me a hug, you know. Turn. Final score predictions, man. Tennessee at the end of this game on Saturday at 7:30 Eastern Time, SEC Network. What do you think the final score will be Saturday?
45-21.
I like it. I like that. I like that. Yeah. I'm going to go 42-17 Tennessee. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I say you're probably asking us, whoa, y'all are saying lower numbers. Yeah. Cause I think it's going to take a quarter for Joe to get locked in.
And I think
he could shock us all though. I'm
He
just going to
could.
say that right now.
He could, but I think you're going to see a heavy dose of the run game.
I think so
I really
too. And
do.
I think he's in that mix as well.
Yes, I really do. He is. Agreed.
Joe Milton's going to run for 50+ yards Saturday. I'm telling you. And he might score a touchdown.
I'm not going to disagree.
Yeah, he might put 7 on the board too.
He might not. I've said this from day one. He might not be as elusive as Hendon Hooker, but
straight up and down.
You might call me crazy on this, but some of those runs where Hendon breaks somebody off and catches a seam, if Joe Milton can catch a seam like that, he might be, deuces. He might be gone. I mean, that Pitt game last year, I'll go back to it. The Pitt game last year when he had that long run, I was like, oh my gosh, he can fly.
In his preseason presser, he said that was the play he actually first felt like something was iffy in his ankle. Really? He said 74-yard run against Pitt, tore two ligaments in his leg or in his ankle. And he said that's when he felt like it first happened. And then the tackle, when he rolled it, was just the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, we back. Again, y'all, we're not doing a midweek chat this week. However, we will do a one more day episode, and it'll come out on Friday, man. We are so excited for this game. I am so excited for this game. It's another bounce back opportunity. And what story could we be able to tell? Y'all, who would have thought we'd be where we were anyways? But now, what story could we tell with Hendon Hooker going down, Joe Milton stepping in, redemption story, and how does this team finish the year, the regular season? And then it's up to see what kind of bowl we land in, man. So
yeah,
I'm hyped. I'm ready to see what happens. I'm ready to see what these boys do. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Turner, you got anything before we wrap up the Who Is Vandy?
No, sir. I'm ready.
Y'all, we thank you so much again for the love and support. Man, comment on the video. Comment. We love responding. Draco, Calvin, Danny, all of the homies. Y'all go ahead and comment, man. We love y'all. We thank y'all for the support. And you already know what it is. It's straight up Tennessee, baby.